Hello.
Oh no, that's good. Don't hear you.
Yeah, but it just sounds so far away whenever we do it.
Should be okay. Alright, we're live.
All right, we're live. Oh,
Yeah.
what's going on, guys? Hey, what up, Wolfie?
What's up, nerd?
So today we didn't really have much of a build or anything to do, but we are making a video. We're working on a video for top picks for our monitors, because one of the questions we always get asked is what monitors should people pick up when they grab their new PC. So we are working on a video for that of just what our picks are at each price point. And then I decided to do a video or a stream. We're going to do our normal like Q&A. So if you guys just have any tech questions at all, go ahead and ask. But we were trying to theme this one around like peripherals. So if you guys have any peripheral questions, stuff like that, this is the time to ask. So we'll just give you our honest opinion. Obviously, we don't sell peripherals here at the store. So this is just our personal, like what we suggest people go out and buy. So there's that. And then, but if there's anything, like I said, just regular tech questions, PC questions, anything like that you guys want to ask, just go ahead and do it. I have Twitch pulled up. I have to use the phone again today. Brad can see everything else, so he'll go ahead and relay messages to me.
Yep.
So, how you doing today, Wolfie?
I will be right back, Nick. Let's go over this.
Oh yeah, do your thing, man. But hey, Wolfie, man, what games are you looking at streaming? I meant to ask that. Yeah, tired, dude. Oh, trust me, I know, man. It has. Oh, it's been a week, dude, or a weekend at least. I don't know why. But today's gonna be go home, take nap day for sure. Oh, dude, I actually never really got to play Undertale. I know it's free, I just haven't. I've started it, and then I haven't really done anything with it. Okay, dude, RPGs, that is my domain. So what RPGs are you playing? I could have sworn Undertale was a free game, like at least on Steam. But RPGs, man, the next one I can't wait for is Dragon's Dogma 2. The first one, seriously, was like so underrated. It was so good. It was even underrated for me, because like the only reason I even bought Dragon's Dogma was because you got the Resident Evil 6 demo with it. And in hindsight, that was one of the worst choices I could have made, was buying a game for Resident Evil 6 demo, because that game was a shit show. And then I ended up loving Dragon's Dogma. I played that thing. I got 2 playthroughs in it, and then I got 1 playthrough in the Dark Arisen, like enhanced version. Oh, dude, hell yeah! What Final Fantasy games, dude? So Final Fantasy with the mainline ones, I haven't finished the first or 2, but 3 through 16, all of them. Pokemon's been rough for me, man. I've been trying the classic 7, 8. Crystal Chronicles was great. 8, I tell Brad all this all the time because he loves 8, but 8 was not one of my favorites. I love 6, and then for PlayStation 1, I love 9. 9 was my favorite PlayStation 1. 7 is really good, but honestly, I would not put 7 on my top. I don't think it's bad. It's not a negative. It's a phenomenal game. I just wouldn't put it on my top. See, 8 is cool. I just don't like Squall. I think that's what it is. I just never like Squall.
Squall's a little bit of an emo, over dramatic.
See, I wouldn't say 7 is overrated. I always say this. I think 7 is the same thing that like Skyrim is or Fallout 4 is or anything like that. I think 7 is just the first Final Fantasy game that broke mainstream. So that's why you always see like 7 is like the best, and that's why you see Skyrim is like the best Elder Scrolls game. I don't think they actually are. I think what happens is enough of like the small like fan base talks about it to eventually the mainstream audience tries picking up the game. And then that first one that like the general audience picks up is always seen historically as the best game. Like, that's why if you look at like Elder Scrolls fans, they'll always tell you like Morrowind or Oblivion. Or if you look at Fallout fans, they'll say 2 or 3.
I hope we get on Discord.
So
we're pulling you up on stream.
no, dude, Squall and Cloud are both sad boys.
Yeah.
Sad boys. It's all about Vivi, dude, and Steiner. Steiner was GOAT. I love Steiner from 9.
You boot your computer? Yeah. Do you want to have a debate with Wolfie?
On what?
On he says he has a whole argument
Of
for
why
Cloud is better than Squall is better than Cloud.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even put Cloud on one of my top favorite characters either. Zack was cooler than Cloud, to be honest.
Zack was cooler.
Yeah, Zack was awesome.
Mike
was
Boa says, getting my next PC from you guys in the future. Keep up the great work. Hell yeah, dude. We're looking forward to it.
No, if we're talking about cool characters like Cloud, no, Vincent Valentine is the best Final Fantasy VII character. Like, hands down. Vincent was the shit. If he was the main character over Cloud, it would have been so much better.
Wolfie likes Vincent.
Gary Gold, what's up, dude?
What's up, Derry Gold?
Oh, yeah, dude. Vincent was the best. That's why I'll defend Dirge of Cerberus, even though it sucked. Vincent's awesome. And then, if you ever watched Advent Children, that game just pushed Cloud even further down because he was just sad boy, dude. Just sad boy energy all the time.
Dude, I loved Advent Children.
And then Vincent was cool. It was fun, but if you go back and watch it now, there's some weird dialogue in there. Like, some of the dialogue is just cringy.
Dilly dally, shilly shally. Dilly dally, shilly shally.
Oh, well, yeah, SIDs are always good. One thing I will say, I never thought this would happen because I thought 5 had the best SID. I might say 16 now has the best SID of all time. 16 had really good characters, dude. I really like Clive. Clive is a gold standard character. Like, short to the point, just wants to fuck shit up. Clive is like one of my favorite characters. You think Advent Children made Cloud more badass? I thought Cloud was just depressed the whole time, man. He was just living out in the desert on his own.
I liked
He
Cloud
was just
in Advent
sad.
Children.
He kept thinking about, All right, here, wait.
What's up, Queen? Someone has. Hold on. We're gonna pause this convo because someone has a question. What's the best pre-configuration PC from y'all for gaming? Farming Simulator 2022 with all the mods. Fusion 360 cam, SolidWorks CAD.
Wait, what's the best computer?
Best pre-configured we have.
Model. I mean, honestly, with a game like Farming Simulator, that's gonna be more CPU intensive. But other than that, it really depends on what resolution you're playing at. So, if you can tell me what resolution you plan on playing at, so if you're on like a 4K TV or if you're on like a 1080p or 1440 monitor, then I could easily answer it. But
what about with Fusion 360 cam and SolidWorks CAD? Because those are GPU.
Still, I mean, honestly, the best balanced pick, I really like the Spartan. I think the Spartan, like I said, when it comes to perfect balance, price to performance, I love our Spartan build. I mean, with a 14700K and a 4070 Ti, I think that's a perfect build. But if you plan on running 4K or anything, I would say Assassin or Legatus or the new Gladiator. I really liked building the new Gladiator.
New Gladiator is cool.
Wait, I'm going to answer a few of these questions, but while I do, Wolfie, I want you to think and tell me who your favorite Final Fantasy character of all time is. Okay. Give you a chuckle, bought Asus PG27AQN 360Hz monitor, thinking it will improve my Modern Warfare 3 game. After about 3 minutes, I still have a 0.96 kill death ratio, LOL. Okay, Derry Gold. I mean, you're not going to make me chuckle, man. No, I think some people, I'm not saying you did this, but I think what happens is with marketing more than anything. They always say like higher refresh rate wins games. And what it is when you have a really high refresh rate, it does lower latency. but it's like microseconds to milliseconds, because personally, like, I have the new OLED monitor from LG, and so with OLEDs you're looking at 0.003 millisecond delay, so fractions of like a microsecond. But I guarantee you I could give Shroud some old 60 hertz 10 millisecond delay monitor from 30 years ago, and he would still hop on there and just kick my ass. Like, so I think marketing shows, like, just because a computer monitor can do something, a lot of the time it still just comes down to the player. Because I think, like, Linus even did a study with this. Like, he gave, like, I think it was Paul's Hardware, he gave him like a top of the line machine, and then he gave like Shroud or someone else like a bottom of the line machine and had him play Counter-Strike, and like Shroud still won.
Yeah.
So when it comes to those super high refresh rate monitors, they are really nice. They will give you like better delay. They'll give you better motion clarity and all that. So for that, visually it looks really good, but when it comes to actually being better at games, it's still down to skill, because like a microsecond, a millisecond, whatever, it can make a difference if there's two people at the exact same skill level going at it, but it's not enough to like win the game for you. And I'm not trying to like insult anyone's skill, because like, geez, dude, I'm not the best at video games, absolutely not. But it's just, I have seen a marketing thing where people will market these monitors as like making you win or making you better or anything.
Nvidia does it too.
Yeah.
With
Like
their reflex and all that stuff.
Yeah, they even did with their frame generation, like more FPS. But the thing is, frame generation actually increases latency because there's no input on those created frames.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's nothing bad. Like, you will play better. Like, you personally might play a little better with a high refresh rate monitor, low delay monitor, everything like that. But if I was like, you know, let's say I was like top 50% of in the world, that monitor's not gonna, like, a monitor's not gonna bring me up to like top 10%.
Yeah, right.
So.
All right, Travis from Instagram says, I would like to do 4K, but I'm looking at a 2K budget, maybe a little bit more.
For a computer?
Yeah. It's the same guy who asked the other question.
So 2K budget, I mean, so what you could do is, what I always recommend when people bring up 4K, and you guys will probably hear me say this like every other stream because I think it's very important, is if you're going to be picking up a monitor, I always recommend getting a 1440p monitor. If you guys don't know what pixel density is, basically, it's I might ramble a bit, but it's just how it works with me. Is, let's say 4K is what, 3840 by 2160, and that's the pixel count. If you have a 65-inch TV and a 10-inch TV, it is going to be the same pixel count no matter what, that 3840 by 2160. But when you get something that's smaller, those pixels kind of push together and it makes it look even more sharp. So when it comes to like 27-inch monitor or lower, or even like a 32-inch monitor, 1440p is going to be 2560 by 1440 pixels no matter what. So on a 27-inch monitor, all those pixels push together, it will look just as sharp as 4K. Now, if you stretch that out to like a 55, 65-inch TV, 4K will be noticeably better because you still have more pixels. Like, less pixels over more area doesn't look as good as more pixels over more area. But when you shrink it down, it's why like the Switch runs at 720p. And if you put it on a TV, like, or if you play handheld at 720p, it looks fine. Like, the Switch looks great. But if you were to play it on like a huge TV at 720p, it would not look as good. And it's just kind of that same mentality. So what I always recommend is have a 4K TV for 4K gaming, and then if you have just a monitor at your desk and it's just for gaming, go 1440p monitor. I would say look at the Spartan. I think it's great. You get a 14700K and a 4070 Ti. And then what you can do is just play at 1440p when you're on your monitor. And then if you want to play 4K, get like an extended HDMI or anything like that, hook it up to the TV. And the 4070 Ti, you can just throw DLSS on and it will still play at the 4K just fine. So that's how I recommend it. I think getting a 4K monitor, like a 27-inch 4K monitor, you're not getting that much of a visual difference and you are just losing frames. And then not just losing frames, but then you have to upgrade your computer that many more times because you have to keep up with 4K. So I know that was really long, but
So what would you recommend?
Spartan.
Spartan.
I think Spartan's a perfect, if you have like a 2K mid-range budget, I really like the Spartan. Archon is also really good. Or if you want to go up a little bit, Strategos is good. But Spartan just has really good balance to it.
Cool. Padilla? Sorry, what's your name, dude? Says I'm currently trying to get a new case. What's the estimated time for someone new to transfer everything to a new case?
Oh, that's hard.
I mean, when I was first building, I think my own computer, it took me about 4 or 5 hours to redo everything. But I mean, building from
building from scratch. Yeah.
But if you're just transferring a case, like the scary parts are kind of already done. You know?
Yeah,
like the CPU. Like the CPU is always the scariest part. That's already done, so you can just kind of like take everything out and then plop it in a new case. You don't have to worry about redoing thermal paste and.
No, yeah, especially well, if you have an AIO, I would take the AIO off, and you would have to redo that.
Oh yeah.
You have to mount that to the new case, and then you would have to re-thermal paste it. But if you have an air cooler, that makes it so much easier because, like, yeah, the motherboard's done. So it's pretty much however long it takes you to cable manage is how long it takes to do a case swap because you just have to throw the power supply in, motherboard in, and just recable it. So if like one of us, if I did it, like if I do a case swap and I'm not like, you know, busting ass and working as fast as I can, if I'm going at the same pace I would be if I was at home, just relaxed doing it, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So I would say a normal person, maybe an hour or so. I mean, and it also depends on the case. Like I said, and if you have an AIO or air cooler, but air coolers, that's why I'm an air cooler guy too. Switching cases is so easy because I just grab that brick and plop it over.
All right, Derek Gold said. Second funny chuckle. My first monitor I bought with the LED. This is also an LG OLED 240 hertz.
Yeah, I mean, Dairy Gold. You know what, man? Keep working at it. Like the 360 hertz monitor, all of that. At least like you have that step. Now it's just that time to grind. So you have the hardware, and now it's just like literally sit there and play Modern Warfare. I haven't. I got Modern Warfare 3 as a gift, and I think I played it like twice. I don't know what happened, man. I used to be like Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3 was but Call of Duty 2 and 4 I was super hard into, and then like Modern Warfare 2 I played a lot, and then I just kind of declined.
I played the very first 2 Call of Duties that were both World War II and had a good single player. That's what I played.
Yeah, see, Call of Duty.
Both of those were great fucking games.
Call of Duty, the first one I never got because I played Medal of Honor, Frontline and Rising Sun. Rising Sun was so good. And then I played, I don't know if you ever played this, but Battlefield Vietnam. There was Battlefield Vietnam. There was Battlefield, not the new one, not the Bad Company 2 Vietnam, but there was just one that was Vietnam. Then there was 1942. I loved that one. And then there was 2142, which was like a sci-fi battlefield. And I played those, but then eventually they remade the first Call of Duty. And I went back and I played it then, and it was still good. There was something about, I think Modern Warfare 2 is when I started to fall off. I liked Modern Warfare 2, but I think I started to fall off because like when you played the original Call of Duties, they still had that Counter-Strike feel. Like you could tell it was just Counter-Strike, but with ADS.
Mm-hmm.
But they took the campaign seriously. Like I love it. Like World at War had a great campaign. I forgot about that one. because I liked seeing the map. Like it felt like you were watching like a James Bond or something. I like seeing the map and just having like the intercom tell you what you're doing, and you'd zoom in and you'd have like security cam footage or something. Like it actually felt like they took it seriously, like you were actually getting a briefing.
Yeah.
Then you went in and played. And then Modern Warfare 2 felt like this transition to where they were turning it into like Fast and the Furious war. And I think that kind of, I lost interest in that. Like, I know a lot of people like those big set pieces, like World War II getting in a 10-minute long train crash and the train just keeps rolling and rolling and flipping and turning. I know people love that, and so that's fine. Like, that's super cool. I don't know why. I didn't hate it. It just didn't click with me so much.
I would love to have a modern day like graphics World War II game.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I would love
Hell Let Loose, dude.
Yeah, dude, I started playing Hell Let Loose.
It's so good. Hell Let Loose,
dude.
I think Hell Let Loose trumps Battlefield in every way.
Yeah.
Well, Battlefield 5. Like World War II.
You were right. The sound design on that game.
The sound design is great. When you see those explosions and just the smoke clouds and everything, when you see mortars coming down, I get adrenaline spikes.
It's scary. Like, it's scary. Like, I was playing it yesterday, and it's like, it's a fucking miracle anyone survives war. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's immersive as fuck. Like, I remember I was in this little fucking hole yesterday, and there was just, I couldn't see them, but there was a whole bunch of people shooting.
You can just see, you just
like shooting. You can hear like the bullets,
the cracking, whizzing past
you, and like you see little like fucking dust clouds pop up.
You like to play, man. We have a squad,
and then behind me it's just fucking mortar clouds. And I'm like,
dude, yeah, it's immersive. I think Hell Let Loose is the best World War II game.
And then like the last thing, you just hear the and then
you hear it coming in, like, black screen.
Like,
the worst too
I'd
is like
dead if I was in World
when
War
you're crossing the fields, there's always those hedges, and you'll line up on your hedges, and like your CO will put the what do you call it down? The OP down, and so you can spawn.
Yeah.
And it's always scary when they'll peek. Like people take the game seriously. Like they'll peek with their binoculars, look, and it's always scary. I never go around hedges first because you'll always see someone. All right, guys, we're going to move like northeast. We're going to go to this hedge. And you'll see the first guy like turn and just, you hear that ping and their helmet flies off and they just drop. And you're just like, oh, stay behind the hedge, boys.
It's such a good game. I died so much. I don't know where the fuck anyone is. And I just keep dying. But it's fun.
Because you actually have to look at like uniforms and stuff like that. Hell Let Loose, we'll get in a squad. Because if you get in a squad and you have the communication, you learn the game a lot faster. And we have a group that like they'll hop on whenever I say like
yeah, I'm down.
It's so good, man. See, Squad is great. I actually want to hop back on Squad because I just saw that they have a Star Wars mod and you don't even have to download it. It's just some servers have it. So if you just join the server that has the Star Wars mod, you're just playing it, and it looks freaking incredible.
I thought Nubs play that.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Wait. Wolfie, did you ever give us your favorite character? That's what I'm looking for.
Let's see if he's back. He said he was starting a firefight.
Oh, he was?
Oh. He might not be able to respond.
Dang.
But,
just an FYI, Legatus is a beast. Yeah, the Legatus is like our top of the line. That and the Assassin is our top of the line models. It's just Assassin is towards air cooling and Legatus is towards AIO. But both of those are just
flashy.
Yeah, Legatus is the flashy.
Flashy. I love it though.
Hell Let Loose and Squad. Squad's. Yeah, so
Wolfie's almost done.
I really love Squad. I absolutely love Squad. Oh, dude, I whistled there a little bit. I heard that.
Old man. Start to whistle when you talk.
I'm only 30, dude. Come on. I think the only thing, like, I will hop on Squad every once in a while, like maybe once or twice a month or every month or two. The only thing that gets me on Squad is I wish there was just some sort of progression system to a degree. Like, Hell Let Loose doesn't have crazy progression, but it's at least, sorry, there's like some sort of shit in my eye. Hell Let Loose doesn't have like crazy, like you're not gonna put fucking red dots and silencers on your guns, but it at least has like uniforms You heading out?
Yeah.
Peace out, dude.
You want to say hi to Twitch?
I Twitch.
You can go show your face in front of the camera.
But
We'll get it close up.
Hold on, I don't have my face.
I like that Hell Let Loose has like some sort of progression. Like you can get like the trench coat outfit, or if I play medic, you can actually get the medic helmet that has like the netting on it with the plus.
Yeah.
So I like having a little bit of progression. Or just a rank, like having a rank for how much you played or something. If Squad just added some sort of progression system, like no, as tiny as it is that, I would be so happy. Another one that I really liked, it's kind of fallen off now, but when it came out, I loved it, was Insurgency. Because Insurgency was more like Call of Duty, like it was more small scale fights, it wasn't as big as Battlefield. But it was like the same mentality as Squad and Hell Let Loose, like you just died really fast. And that game would be hectic, because it's like Hell Let Loose, but smaller maps. You could still call in like mortars and stuff, but like I said, it's more like Call of Duty, like kill streaks.
Yeah.
But smaller maps, and there'd be times where like you'd have to push forward and you'd have to take out a little house, and there would just be 30 guys crammed in this little house, and you just lob smoke grenades, and you run in and you would just hear gunfire everywhere and bodies would just drop. Like Insurgency was amazing.
Oh,
Then they made
Insurgency.
Sandstorm, the second one. That one was good too.
Rodrigo from YouTube
What up?
says, I just saw your short where you show off the 4070 Ti Super, the Oris Master.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking about buying this graphics card, but there are very few videos about it. What it does, or what it is. Like, so I wanted to find out if, in your opinion, it is worth it for the price or not.
So, I mean, with the 4070 Ti, like the Aorus model, a lot of that is going to be just look up the 4070 Ti Super reviews. Just look up the reviews on the 4070 Ti Super, look up the frame rates for the games you play. Because for the most part, with like the overclocked cards and different manufacturer or board partner cards, it's going to be like 1%, 2% difference. So there, so like whether you were to be, I can't talk, man. Whether if you were like, I want a Aorus 4070 Ti, or I want the ROG Strix or Tough, you're not going to get like 10% more frames on one of them or the other. It is just, essentially it's cosmetics and cooling design. So the Aorus, like that thing is just absolutely massive. So it might let your graphics card boost clock a little bit more and keep it cool, like under that 88-degree threshold before it starts bottlenecking and downclocking. But even with the smaller coolers, like the Zotacs, like the twin edge Zotacs, they don't really hit above 75 degrees.
Yeah.
So I don't really see, like, the coolers are just so massive, because to be honest, 4070 Ti's, they put the same housing on there that they use with the 4080s and 4090s, because it's just cheaper to just take a 4070 Ti and put it on a bigger cooler for a 4090 than it is to like design a whole new chassis for a different card. So it's a good card, man. I don't know. I'm trying not to be too descriptive and ramble. I'm trying to catch myself on that. So I apologize. But yeah, I mean, it's the 4070 Ti Super is a great card. It's just cosmetics. What card do you like the look of? As long as it's one of like the mainline brands, you know, MSI, Asus, Gigabyte, it's gonna be a great cooler. It's gonna be a great card. Performance will differ maybe 1 or 2%, so nothing noticeable.
Then from Lackey Gaming says, which accessories you give? I'm not sure what that means, but we don't give accessories with our computers.
No.
But if you're looking for like a specific recommendation on like a mouse or a monitor or something like that, let us know. And then Biohazard Gaming 1990 says, "What's up, everybody over at Alexander PCs?"
Yeah, what up, Biohazard?
What's up, dude?
Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're just talking computers right now. We're talking games. And then the main thing I wanted to talk about, if anyone had questions about it, is just peripherals. We are doing a monitor video that should be coming out soon.
Yeah,
Where I just gave my top picks on what monitors to pick up at each price point. And so I just figured if anyone had questions on like keyboard, I mean, If we can limit the keyboard talk, that'd be great, because I will sit here and talk to you guys for hours on end. But mice, monitors, anything like that, headsets, you guys want questions or have questions for that, go ahead and ask. Is Alexander PCs ever going to consider selling individual parts? Or we already considered it? I don't think we're ever going to sell individual parts, but we have had talked about doing like an upgrade program. So if someone bought a computer from us like 2-3 years ago, and they're like, hey, my 12900K is still great, I just want like to go from like a 3080 to like a 5080 whenever that comes out. There has been talks about that, but I don't think we'll ever sell individual parts. And to be completely candid on why, it's honestly, you just don't make money on graphics cards at all. Because some people might think that like companies like us, even like iBuyPower, anything like that, that we get like a 50% discount on a GPU and then we sell it for MSRP. Like, no, we actually pay MSRP for the graphics cards.
Yep. And same with the CPUs.
So the only way we could profit off graphics cards is if we sold them individually for more money than MSRP. And then at that point, people wouldn't buy them from us. They would just go and buy them at like Best Buy or Micro Center, Amazon, anything like that. Same with CPUs. Like those key components, we don't really profit on. No one does. Like companies just don't make money on. So even when you go to Micro Center and you buy a graphics card, like Micro Center is making money on other stuff in their store, but they're not really going to be making money on the graphics card sales.
Yeah, and it also comes down to a tax thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you? Oh, yeah. Wrong monitor. Yeah. So like, if we start selling individual parts, those get taxed differently. So we'd actually be paying more taxes if we were like a retailer.
That's true.
Instead of an SI. So that's another reason why we don't really.
Oh yeah, dude, we've definitely played Power World. We were talking about this the other day. The girlfriend and I, we just find like goofy games to play with each other. And I remember watching this trailer like 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember Alex specifically. I showed Alex that trailer because I knew he was a big Pokemon guy, and he thought it looked so cool. And him and I talked about it for like 10 minutes, and I really thought that game was going to come out, and it would just be something that I bought for like a week just to goof around on. Yeah. I never expected Power World to blow up the way it did.
Yeah.
That was wild. And it doesn't even feel like the company tried to make it that big. Because if you see like Craftopia and stuff, like that was clearly like a Breath of the Wild clone.
Yep.
Like I'm not gonna lie. They seem like they just wanted like quick cash grabs. Like, hey, let's make games, because Craftopia came out like a year or two ago. Like it's not even an old game. So it feels like they make these games really quick, just trying to, you know, what would you call it? Almost like day trading in a way. Yeah. Like they're not investing in a long-term thing. They're like, oh, we'll make something dirt cheap, make a little bit of profit on it, make something else dirt cheap, make a little bit. But they just hit gold with this one. Like this idea, they just got lucky and hit gold, and it's so funny.
Yeah, I love Power World, but honestly, I'm kind of bored of it already. Maybe I just haven't explored enough.
Well, I think I'm not bored of Power World, but there are definitely gaps, because I know like the second boss is level 25. So until you hit level 25 to 30, it's kind of like you're just doing whatever you want. Like you're just playing there, doing whatever you want.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm like level 18. Kind of don't know what else to do. Yeah. I'm kind of just exploring at this point, but
that's really what it is.
Like my mounts are fucking slow as shit.
You got to get the dire Hal.
Flying mount. I have that.
Oh, the flying mounts suck, dude.
Oh, do they all suck?
They're so slow.
I have a dire Hal. Maybe I'll just ride him around.
I just did the dire Hal and then a grappling hook.
Oh yeah, the grappling hook.
Because the flying is so slow, and what sucks is like, what makes no sense to me is that when you are on ground with the flying mounts, they don't burn stamina, but they're still flying. Like they're still flapping their wings, hovering over the ground. But when you go in the air, even like a foot higher, they just start burning through stamina. And I'm like, you're a bird, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like fly. That's why I chose you as a mount. Fly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with the stamina thing for flying.
No. can understand if you went way too high. Like if there's an altitude thing and you went way too high, kind of like how WoW does it, where if you go in the black zones of the map, you hit fatigue. Like if they did something like that, I understand. Like if you were leaving the map or anything like that, or leaving boundaries, have that instead of like an invisible wall. But like if I just want to get on top of a rock real fast, why do you get it? Like their stamina just tanks.
Yeah.
With Powered Out, Nintendo needs to make a good Pokemon game to beat Power World. Yeah, dude, watch. Next thing we're gonna see, there was Digimon Survive. Now there's gonna be Pokemon Survive. It's gonna be the next game.
Pokemon Survive.
I mean,
Metal Gear Solid Survive.
with Powered Out, Nintendo needs to make a good Pokemon game to beat Power World. All right, I'm gonna disagree with you, Biohazard, but I'm also going to agree with you. I think Nintendo just needs to make Game Freak just needs to make good games. Like, let's be real. Pokemon is the biggest media conglomerate like in the world. Like it is the biggest franchise ever made. There is no reason in hell that Scarlet and Violet are not as in depth as like a Red Dead game is. Like the intricacies, all the little details, the storytelling. Like there's no reason it is not that type of. Well, I'm not saying graphics, like it's on the Switch. But I'm just saying those little intricate details, you know, when you do Red Dead and you actually like, when you loot someone, you actually dig through their pockets, or when you get pelts, you actually have to pick them up and throw them on the horse. Like just little details like that. Like there's no reason Pokemon can't do that to make the game more immersive. Like just have a thing where you can ride any Pokemon. Like you call out your Arcanine and you can just walk over and hop on it like you can in Pal World. Or just have it when you feed Pokemon, like you actually have an animation of like walking up and feeding it. There's like little details and have the story be great. The animations be better on fighting. Like, dude, Pokemon Stadium had cooler animations on N64. So I will agree that Nintendo needs to make a better game, but I don't think they need to compete with Power. I don't think Nintendo needs to make a survival game.
Yeah.
Or they don't, but also I don't think they will. Nintendo's always shown that they don't really give a shit what other people make. Like, hence there's no Nintendo Battle Royale, is there?
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo doesn't really force themselves to make the games up. They don't really chase the...
I guess they have the Tetris game.
Yeah. But they don't really chase the fads.
No.
They do their own thing. So I don't think they would directly compete with Power World as like a survival game, but they definitely need to make like a higher quality, more immersive experience.
Yeah. They can't take the easy route anymore, you know?
Yeah, dude. Like, Scarlet...
Sorry, it's 2024. Like, you can't have, like fucking Scarlet and stuff.
I like the premise for Scarlet and Violet, but it's like, dude, every good idea they put in that game, they took out something.
Yeah.
So it's like when they were going to school, like again, with how much money Nintendo makes, and you started going to school, I like when that was in the trailers, I was like, sweet, dude, this is gonna be like Pokemon Persona. Yeah. Like having to go to your class every once in a while, then go. No, you can just go back every once in a while, take a test to get points, and then just leave. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it just wasn't immersive. Like, the world was not immersive. And I think that, like, even breeding wasn't immersive. Performance was awful. And
it made fucking Zelda.
That's what I'll say. I'll defend it. When people say this, like, when people were saying, like, this is a limitation of the Switch, nah, dude, they made Breath of the Wild.
They made Breath of the Wild.
Like, this was just them not knowing how to make a game. Like, I actually liked, people hated it, but I like Sword and Shield more than I like this. Like, I thought going out in Sword and Shield and actually setting up your camp, making the soup or the curry and all that, that was more immersive than making the sandwiches in this. And let's not even talk about the sandwich animation. That's what I'm saying. The little details that break immersion. It was literally like a picture of a sandwich and your character is just doing a bite animation and smiling. Like, dude, you're a billion-dollar company and you're telling me you can't actually have the character pick it up a sandwich and take a bite out of it?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just make that animation really fast? Are you kidding me?
You can't make an animation for everyone,
because
Pokemon's attack.
And this is coming from someone that I worked at GameStop for over 8 years. And I can tell you, the people playing Pokemon are not 8-year-olds. Dude, they're 30. They're 20 to 35-year-olds. So like Nintendo needs to learn that. little kids are playing Fortnite. No offense, like if you're an adult, you can still play Fortnite. I'm just saying they're playing Fortnite and Roblox and like mobile games. Dude, I would maybe sell for every 100 copies of Pokemon I would sell. It'd maybe be like 5% would be like adolescents. Everything else would be like 18 to like 35. And even 18 was like maybe 30%. But like 80%, 70% was like 25 to 35.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's our generation that plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's just like Nintendo needs to learn that, like, dude, like people playing Pokemon are adults. So it's.
Yeah, it always felt weird playing like a little kid. I don't know.
I wish they would let me be an old fat man in Pokemon.
Yeah,
if
like,
they let me do that, a dream.
Like the thing that killed Sword and Shield for me was your rival. In that game, he was way too fucking friendly.
Oh yeah, they toned it down. Gary was the GOAT.
Gary, like, be fucking Gary. Be a like,
yeah, be an asshole, dude. Be arrogant. Or
yeah,
Blue.
make me
Not
hate
Gary.
you.
It wasn't Gary. It was Blue.
Oh yeah,
Blue
yeah.
or red.
Yeah.
No, it was always Blue. Never mind. It was always Blue, no matter what, because you were red, no matter which version of the game you played. But Blue was.
Be a fucking asshole. Make me hate you. Make me want to beat you. I don't want to.
No, it's the same thing with Scarlet Violet. Like, your rival was like your best friend and just supportive, and it was just like, all right,
Gary Oak, professional motherfucker.
yeah, dude. And then it went too much power of friendship.
Yeah.
And then there was the one dude in Scarlet and Violet with the long hair, and he was kind of a dick, but he was just an isolated dick. He wasn't actually a dick towards you. He was just the type of guy that you'd just be like, yeah, this guy's kind of a dick. I'm not really going to talk to him.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Like, I don't remember anyone's name in Scarlet and Violet. And I thought the storyline was meh. Like, the end of it, after you get the badges, meh. I didn't like the whole time traveling thing. Silver, Gold, Crystal is best generation. Gen 2, hands down, I think the best generation.
I had Silver. That was the last one I
like, dude, even back then, they had the idea for content to give you all of Johto and 8 badges, and then let you go to Kanto and get another 8 badges, and then go fight Red. Johto was the best generation of Pokemon games. Silver and Crystal will always be my favorite. And yeah, like my Pokemon games, I will always say Gen 1, 2, and 3 are all 10 out of 10s without question, because Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald were 10 out of 10s too. And then I would give Diamond and Pearl like an 8. I think Diamond and Pearl is an 8, and then I think it just was a steep drop after that. But
what's the giveaway? Oh, share the link.
No, Mystery Dungeons, I've never gotten to play, Wolfie. The spin-off Pokemon games I played the first Detective Pikachu. I played Coliseum and DX. Loved Coliseum. DX I was on. I played the original Snap. I think I said Stadiums. I can't remember if I said Stadiums or not. Stadiums. I had that stupid Hey You Pikachu game that never worked. I still have the little yellow ball that you attach to your controller. And I'm trying to think what other spin-off games I played. I think that might have been it.
I had Pokemon Pinball.
I did have Pokemon for a Game Boy.
Yep.
I did have Pokemon Pinball. Okay, I'll put that in there too.
I
had the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy.
Oh, yep. I had that.
I had that too, but I never played that.
I never played that one.
I never played, but I had it and I did play it like twice. I said, this is dumb.
Same. And I think I played Pokemon Pinball like maybe a handful of times. I think it had a Rumble Pack installed, didn't it? Like you needed batteries for like
the pinball. Yeah,
yeah.
You could do that or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember. I just remember. I think you needed like a AAA battery.
Oh yeah, no, I had like the I know what you're talking about. It was the big brick.
Yeah, it was a big
cartridge.
Brick.
No, I was thinking WarioWare. You had.
Oh, okay.
X and Y. So, I picked up X. So this is when I fell off of Pokemon. I played all of them through Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Then, what was it, Black and White? I didn't like, and I fell off of Black and White. Then I fell off of Black and White 2. And then I tried coming back to X, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of X. I thought it was weird. I thought it was, I don't know what the word was, easy. I thought it was really easy. Like I could just surf my way through the entire game in a sense, like just brute force it. And then Moon is what got me back into Pokemon completely. I loved Moon. Moon, I thought was great. Sword and Shield, I picked up Shield. I even thought Shield was fun. I hate Gigantamaxing. Even though I do believe Gigantamax was an original idea because of that Dragonite at the lighthouse in the original anime. The Dragonite at the lighthouse was definitely Gigantamax. That thing was fucking huge. But I didn't really like Gigantamax. I love Stadium. How the gyms were like Coliseums and you actually walked in there and it was like a stadium. Everyone was watching the battle. I thought that was epic in Sword and Shield. And then it was just push my bean into a goal, and then you just fought inside a house again. And Sword and Shield, like Sword and Shield, every time they made something advanced, they backtracked something else. Like Sun and Moon had, and like Sword and Shield had so much good customization. They took all the customization out in Scarlet Violet. And like I don't mind playing a 10-year-old boy, but those booty shorts they put you in at the start was a crime, dude. That was an absolute crime. Like those shorts in my high school, that wouldn't have passed, because you have to like. Well, I think the rule for shorts in my high school was like if you had your hand along your side, your shorts had to go past like your middle finger. Those wouldn't have flown in my school, man. Those shorts they put you in Scarlet and Violet would have gotten you kicked right out. Oh man, that was a crime, dude.
Yeah.
To put a little boy in there. And I thought all the faces were plain in Scarlet and Violet. Like all the faces for your character creation.
It felt like a rushed game. It felt like they were just like, yeah, fuck it, let's
Even
just get it out.
Arceus, I think, had better exploration. I thought they were going to take everything good about the exploration and combat. Because I like how in Arceus, the Pokemon actually attacked you. I thought they were going to take... I thought like Arceus was like a tester. Like, hey, here's like the cement. Here's the ground for what the next mainline Pokemon game. So I thought like Arceus was going to be... It was a full game, but like a lot of companies do this where they release like a full game and it's really just the tester for what they really want to do. I thought that's what Arceus was. And Arceus had better exploration, better open world, and like all of that. Way better customization. Like Arceus had great character customization for a Pokemon game. But then every other Pokemon game had better gyms and stuff like that. So it's like Scarlet and Violet just, they didn't beat a Pokemon game at anything. Like there's nothing they did in that game that wasn't better in a different Pokemon game that was on an 8-bit handheld machine.
Like I always wanted a 3D Pokemon, and the 3D Pokemon
That was
they
everyone's dream,
delivered
dude.
have not.
Ever since
been great.
N64, that's all we wanted, was just a real...
I always wanted a fucking...
Because like I loved
Pokemon
Coliseum, but like I still wanted the classic like go out and get the gyms.
Yep.
And there was so much misinformation. It was like, yeah, you can do the gyms in any order. It's like, well, you can, but like if you go to like the ghost gym right away, you're gonna get fucked up because they're still like level 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, technically you can do the gyms in any order if you sit there and grind Pidgeys for like 3 days and you get the level up that way.
Yeah.
So like, no, there was still a kind of a right way to do the gyms. Then the world just felt small. Like there were some parts that felt big. Like scale-wise, I guess it felt big, but it was so empty. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I get really annoyed when you play these big open world games and you go to a city. It's like when you go, even on the old Pokemon games, like I gave them crap, but like they were Game Boy games, so I'm not gonna shit on it.
Yeah.
But you go to a city and it's like 6 buildings and like 4 houses outlining it, and you're like, this is like your Chicago or something? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Right.
So I like, dude, like the central town was like a decent size, but then every town where like a gym would be, it was like 5 houses and a gym. And I was like, come on, dude, like look at like every other open world game out there. Like Zelda, it makes sense to have small towns because they're literally just like villages.
Yeah.
But for Pokemon, like the cities, they should be a decent size. Like they don't need to be like Liberty City big, but something, because everything outside of the cities was just vast open nothingness.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the Explorers of Sky remake. Maybe I'll check it out. I have not played Explorers of Sky. But
Ashira Spirit says Pokemon got to step it up now. They got a chance up. Prime example. Oh, change it up.
So, dude, there's
prime example is Zelda. Yeah, I agree.
There's one argument. See, I even think Zelda's gotten lazy, to be honest. Like, I think Nintendo's just kind of lazy. I know Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess. I know Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are loved games. So, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is just me being a purist asshole on Zelda. I think Tears of the Kingdom, actually, I did not like Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna be completely real. I beat it. I had fun. But fuck, man. Give me like 12 actual temples. Give me a big themed temple that takes like 3 or 4 hours of my time to beat it with a big ass, really cool monster boss at the end.
Yeah.
And I just want that. Give me my temples, then I get some item at that temple that I can bring to the next temple. You can still keep it open world, but like, when
give me my fucking puzzles.
Like, dude, I grinded all 120 shrines, and they were all the same thing. They all looked exactly the same. They were all just the Guardian, like that ancient architecture. Like, and I did all 120 shrines to get the tunic, because for some reason the tunic wasn't just it's the hero's tunic, but for some reason they didn't give it to the hero. I grinded all of that. I got a bunch of Korok seeds. And like the exploration is what I find fun in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, so just exploring and talking to the random villagers.
Yeah.
But I still don't think Breath of the Wild deserved Game of the Year. I actually think Horizon Zero Dawn should have beaten it at that time. And Tears of the Kingdom was the same way. I'm actually really happy Baldur's Gate got it, because I was really scared of Tears. Because when Tears came out, I was hyped, but I was like, they added in the building mechanic, which I think the building mechanic's really good for like content creation. That was fun, but I think as like a normal gamer, like you might for like 10 minutes, but I don't think like I don't think 90% of the normal gamers, like who are just at home playing it, are going to take times building all this crazy stuff. Maybe 10% will. And some people might be part of that 10%, they like it, but like, I was so pissed that they're like, all right, go get more shrines. There's 200 of them now. And I was just so fucking, all right, what else do I do? And they're like, go get more Korok seeds. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, these bastards got lost again?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, give me something besides shrines. And of all the Zelda games that need it, give me the hook shot. This is the one game where the hook shot is like almost needed. Give me the hook shot. And I just want my temples, dude. And I was so excited. I did Rivali first, like the Wind Temple.
Yeah.
And it was so cool, like the cinematic going in. It was actually like Noah's Ark floating around. And I was so excited until I beat it in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh. Like, I just want Zelda to have big-ass temples again. And to that degree, I feel like they do the exploration and survival really well, but the content doesn't seem as exciting as it was in the old Zeldas.
Yeah.
And then same with Animal Crossing. Like, people loved, I even loved it. I loved New Horizons. And I think I loved it because the same reason everyone loved it. It just came out at the right time. Like, Animal Crossing just came out when COVID hit. But like, dude, Brewster going to like, they had like the random generated islands, but that's like, you mostly went to the random islands just to find new villagers. Or like how having like a job, like the actual Animal Crossings, you used to have to go work for Tom Nook and you had the job and you had to be, they just took a lot of that immersive stuff out. And then like, you could build up your island, that was cool, but I can build islands in other games. I feel like Nintendo, they're not evolving enough. Like they're kind of doing the same formula that they've always done. Like, even like I look at Super Mario Wonder, and I know people love Super Mario Wonder, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's like it's a 2D platformer. You run to the right and you jump and you hit question mark boxes and you get mushrooms and you get big and you grow and jump on things. That's how it was in the 80s. This is just 3D graphics. But no, now they added in the Wonder Flowers and it makes everything trippy. Like Mario's actually eating real mushrooms for real now. That's a cool idea. But is that 30 years of gaming evolution cool? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you take that flower out, take the Wonder Flower completely out of Mario Wonder, what shows you that this is like 30 plus years of evolution in gaming? Like, I feel like Nintendo as a whole is really lazy, has gotten really lazy.
Yeah.
What Nintendo needs to do is make an open world Pokemon game, and every update they unlock a new region and keep doing it until you unlock every... Dude, but that's just like too much work for Nintendo, man. Like, they're not gonna do that. Yeah. Come on. I just feel like they've been doing minimum effort, and then they keep their games at $60 forever because they know these kids are gonna go in and beg their parents to get it. So like, dude, I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild is still $60, even though Tears of the Kingdom's
fucking Mario Kart 8 is $60 still.
Like,
I just bought that for my nephew in October. That was $60.
And then Nintendo also shows that they don't care about their fans. And they've shown this in like a few tiny ways. Like, one, okay, Odyssey, great game. I liked Odyssey. And I think the reason Odyssey didn't bother me when it comes to like laziness is because the last time they really had a Mario that felt like that was Super Mario 64. So or I guess Galaxy kind of, but this felt more like Super Mario 64 than Galaxy did.
Yeah.
So Odyssey was great because it's not like they do that game every time. So I liked Odyssey. But they didn't give us Sunshine, dude. Like, if you talk to your community and if you went to your Nintendo fan base and talked to the fans and said, hey, we can give you Super Mario Wonder, here's a trailer, or we can give you Mario Sunshine 2, what do you want? Everyone would say Sunshine 2, and they're like, sweet, we'll make Wonder.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, come on. And then they're remaking Luigi's Mansion. And like, we can already see the downgrade. Like, if anyone's played Luigi's Mansion and then Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3, they were way too cartoony. Like, go back and play Luigi's Mansion 1 and look how dark the mansion is. Like, the atmosphere looked like, it was like, Luigi was like the normal Nintendo graphics and stuff, but the mansion Luigi was in looked like Resident Evil. And they had this really cool contrast in their art style, where like the mansion looked really haunted and creepy and realistic. Mm-hmm. When Luigi opened a door, it actually showed his hand, like it was like Resident Evil, where it would zoom in on his hand opening the door and it would open. And then 2 and 3, they just made them super cartoony. Like, everything was that Mario art style. You lost that kind of horror contrast.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo's like, okay, guys, we're gonna remake Luigi's Mansion. They choose to remake 2. Like, why are you remaking 2? That was the DS game that nobody liked. How are you not gonna pick Luigi's Mansion 1 to remake, the one that everyone wants to It's like, dude, you could go up to Nintendo and say, I really want this, and they'll be like, sweet, we'll do the exact opposite of that, and you'll buy it.
Maybe you should start hyping up the bad games so they start remaking the good
games. Dude, Biohazard gets it. Luigi's Mansion for GameCube is better than 2 and 3. 3, don't get me wrong, is fun. Again, but like, it can still be fun. Like, so here's my thought process: is a game can be fun. Just because something's fun doesn't make it good. Like, I can love The Room, but that's a dog shit movie. But subjectively, I can really love it, but I know it's a bad movie. And so it's like, so I think a game can be fun, but that doesn't make it good. In a sense, I don't know if that makes sense, and I don't care. Like, I think everyone has the freedom of their like beliefs. So if someone really likes it and they think it's a good game, that's great. I'm just giving you guys my point of view and how I see it. And so I always think there's a difference between like an objective review on something and your subjective, and I think you can separate those. So like, subjectively, I had a lot of fun with Luigi's Mansion 3, but objectively, I don't think like it was nearly as good as the first one. And it was just that atmosphere. Like, the bosses were fun and everything, but it felt too cartoony. And like, dude, there was no scares in it. Like, I mean, we're adults. Like, Luigi's Mansion isn't gonna scare you, but when you play the first one and you're walking down that dark corridor and you hear the baby crying in the room, and you go in the room and there's just an empty crib rocking back and forth, and that cry, that was terrifying as like a little kid, dude. Like, not like you're actually scared, but it was a really terrifying atmosphere.
Dude,
how do they not
just kidding me?
Yeah,
I'm a,
I don't know
I'm a
how
little
they
baby.
don't. I don't know how they don't do that again. Like I said, 2 and 3, they just felt really cartoony. It's kind of like cartoons today versus cartoons back in the day. Like cartoons back in the day, there's just this bit more of like a maturity to it.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and you watch Scooby-Doo now, or if you go back to the 90s and watch Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, it was a lot darker.
Yep.
And like games need to go back to that. Like where you actually have the real atmosphere, like yeah.
Ashira Spirit says Zelda, this was a little bit ago, just reading it up now. Zelda definitely changed for the better, but I believe they took away some of the identity, like temples. Hopefully they bring them back. Ocarina of Time temples were the best. Fire Temple was my favorite.
I wouldn't say Zelda changed for the better. I had to think about it, but I don't think it changed for the worse. I think
I really like the open worldness.
No, I do too.
I think like that was a good change. I guess it was always kind of open world.
Yeah, there was always kind of open world. There was just sort of an order of operations that you did things. But no, that's why I said I don't think they changed it for the better, but I don't think it's a worse formula in any way. I'm just neutral to like the open world survival aspect, because like I said, it's really good for content creation. There's some goofy things that can happen, but yeah, they lost that identity. Like that's why sometimes you guys will hear me say, if I ever talk about games, like I have some crazy views on games, man. I'm not gonna lie. So if you guys ever disagree with me or just want to call me an asshole, go for it. Because I do have some strong opinions sometimes when it comes to games. But I always feel like there's a thing where when something loses its identity enough, it doesn't feel like that thing anymore. And I guess the best example I can give to this, so it's like I thought Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were great games. But when he says they lose their identity, I don't think they're great Zelda games. And like the other game I can think of at the top of my head, or two games, is like Resident Evil 7 and BioShock Infinite. Like I think Resident Evil 7 was a great horror game. And like if it didn't have the title Resident Evil 7, I think it was a great horror game. Resident Evil, it had nothing to do. There was no like umbrella. There was no like Resident Evil was always about biochemical warfare. There was like none of that. Like it was just you trapped in a house with creepy family and monsters in the. It had nothing to do with Resident Evil. BioShock Infinite, like it was not survival horror. It wasn't horror. It wasn't like slow paced. It was just Call of Duty on a roller coaster rail system. So like very fun game, but like when you put like the title on it, like people expect. Like, it's okay for games to evolve and stuff like that, but like, just me personally as a consumer, like, if I want to buy a Mario game, like, I'm in the mood for Mario, I'm in the mood for Mario to run and jump and hit boxes. That's why I'm buying it. So, like, if I'm in the mood to go after temples and I'm in the mood to hunt giant grand bosses and kill Ganondorf, I'm gonna buy Zelda. Like, that's why I'm buying Zelda, because that's what I'm in the mood for. It's like if Monster Hunter became a kart racer. Like, no, dude, I'm buying a Monster Hunter game because I want to fucking fight dinosaurs, dude. Like, come on. That's why I'm buying Monster Hunter. So,
Monster Hunter.
sometimes it's scary when stuff loses its identity because, like, you can have small changes here and there. Like, if they brought in the temples back, but, like, where the fire temple is, like, I guess they kind of had it. Because even in Ocarina of Time, you had to pick up the flame suit to go into the temple. So if they kept that survival thing, like the open world, and you still have to go into a temple with like the right gear, like have like a heat resistant outfit and like the chill drinks and all that, that'd be cool if they kept that survival thing. But like, yeah, you need the temples and the big grand boss fight and like all the cool tools. Like Link's tools are, because like the tablet in the first game was like cool, but I would rather have an individual tool. like a bomb. Instead of just being able to spawn like a magic bomb, I'd rather just have a bomb bag
Yeah.
that I have to pick up. Instead of being able to craft a flying thing, I think it's more cool to be. I like stuff when it's a little more grounded. So like having the hook shot again would be cooler. So like I don't think it changed for the better or worse. I'm sorry that was a long tangent. But yeah, I don't think Zelda changed for the better or worse. I'm pretty neutral towards the changes they made, because I think the changes they made were kind of already in Zelda games. They just refined them a bit differently. Like they've always had it to where like you need to gear for the dungeon you're going into, or you need this item or this ability to get through the dungeon, but they just sort of refined and changed how that's done. But yeah, they took the identity of way of like, I want to go through, I want to get boss, I want to get the keys and open up the different doors. I want to hear that do-do-do-do-do-do-do when you solve a puzzle. Have a door open up, and I want to go through and get the big boss key and go fight the boss. It's like even the bosses in Zelda lately have felt like, dude, Breath of the Wild was just the same 4 calamities bosses like over and over. Like I just thought that was
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom for me felt like an expansion rather than an entirely.
Yeah, dude. Like I was really pissed
kind of
off.
like almost just like a refresh with more different content.
Like yeah, I was really immersed in Breath of the Wild, and I know people love Tears of the Kingdom, but this is where my opinion on Tears of the Kingdom changed. And so the mindset I went with Tears of the Kingdom, I went towards Tears of the Kingdom is, let's say the Switch OLED came out. So let's say you were a brand new customer and you bought a Switch OLED, and the first game you get with it was Breath of the Wild, and you spend 2 weeks Breath of the Wild, like 2 or 3 weeks, you're just grinding it, and you do all 120 shrines, and you get that, you get all 600 whatever Korok seeds, you do that, you go around, you find the special items, and you're like, dude, that was sick. Tears of the Kingdom comes out like 2 weeks later, and you pick Tears of the Kingdom up, and you're like, I wonder what this adventure is, and you load in, they're like, same map, more shrines, more Korok seeds. You just like, what the fuck? Like, and so that was the mindset. Like I knew the OLED came out, so I was looking at from someone other than the building, like just being able to build stuff. Not a lot changed, and the game did not grasp me as much. Like I was hooked on Breath of the Wild. Like I did play. I think if you look at my Steam hours, it's like 200 to 300 hours. Or not Steam, but if you go to like the friends list on Switch, it will show you like their previously played and how. I think it's like 2 to 3. Like I really was lost in Breath of the Wild, but when I played Tears of the Kingdom, it felt like, have you guys ever like back in PS2 days and stuff, your memory card would break and you're like, shit, I have to restart my whole game. It felt like that when I played Tears of the Kingdom. It felt like I just had to redo. Like, dude, like it's the same Link. So why is my tunic gone? Why is all this gear I picked up in the first game gone? It just felt like it felt like I was playing on my N64 and your little red expansion card broke and all your saves are gone and you don't know what happened. Like that's how Tears of the Kingdom felt for me. And then I looked at it, like I said, from a brand new Switch owner's perspective. Like imagine fresh new Breath of the Wild and then immediately jump to Tears of the Kingdom. Let's say you took the building instead of it. To me, I think the building instead is fun. But I feel like that whole system was designed around content creation. Yeah. Like people are gonna make cool videos of Gundams. People are gonna. So if they took the building out, like what really makes Tears of the Kingdom stand out that much? Like the actual like the building is fun. It is absolutely fun, and I'm not saying anything bad about it. It is fun, but I'm mostly talking about the content of the game. So like your actual objectives and what your goal is, like what they really change. Yeah, and that's where I just, I need to stop.
Hashira says, LMAO, good comparison.
Good comparison? Which, I don't know which comparison. Sorry, guys. I'm rambling.
I believe it was the broken memory card.
Yeah, that the broke, like, that's just how it felt. Like, it just felt like I was kind of just rehashing everything I've already done. And, like, don't get me wrong. It's okay to kind of redo stuff. But, like, because, like I said, there is an identity to it. So when I play a game, I'm in for that mood. Like, that was the same problem I had with, like, Final Fantasy 15. Like, if I'm playing Final Fantasy, like, dude, I'm ready for, like, a 45, 70-hour-long storyline. Bam, throw me in there. And in Final Fantasy 15, it's, like, 10-hour storyline, 50 hours of side quest. And it's like, side quests are fun, man, but I'm playing Final Fantasy because of, you know, I want a 50, 60 hour long story.
Right.
Or 30-hour long story. So like, so there is a point where it's not bad to like do the same thing over, but like I think there needs to be more evolution to it. I feel the same way about movies. Why take a good movie like the Titanic, which was a great movie, and make Titanic and Titanic, which were movies that flopped and didn't do good. Wait, are those real movies? Titanic and Titanic? You see, I can't tell if Biohazard's making a joke or if that's a real movie.
And also, thanks for the gift sub, Fusion. Thank you. Wolfie, are you still here? Let's hear your favorite Final Fantasy character.
Oh yeah, there's a lot, man. That's a hard question.
Not gonna lie, I didn't like Titanic.
Yeah, movie kind of sank.
I liked it as a kid. I was addicted to it.
Dude, that movie was everyone's first pair of boobies.
Titanic and Titanic 2 are really movies, and they sucked.
Titanic and Titanic 2.
That's fucking
Dude,
crazy.
you know what? If there's a movie called Titanic and Titanic 2, chances are JonTron will make a video of it because he has like 3 Titanic videos or something.
Laguna from FF8. Okay.
Nice.
That's
okay.
That's a decent
That's a
one.
good pick. Oh, Wolfie. So, if you like JRPGs, I was just thinking about this one the other day because I really want to replay it, and I can't believe it never got a sequel. Did anyone on 360 play Lost Odyssey? No?
I never had a 360.
Dude, it was so good. It was like Xbox trying to compete. Because let's be honest, like Final Fantasy games now like will come out on Xbox, but they're PlayStation games.
Yeah.
PlayStation or Nintendo, because I guess Nintendo did get like the originals. But they're like, it's like Tomb Raider. Like Tomb Raider's on Xbox now, but it's a PlayStation game. Like we all know that. So this was like Lost Odyssey was like Xbox trying to make their own Final Fantasy series, and it was pretty good. Lost Odyssey was actually fun, and I'm amazed they never made a sequel.
Rogue Galaxy.
Oh yeah, Rogue Galaxy was great. Absolutely.
What about Radiata Stories? Oh, this is a game Nick doesn't.
Which one?
Radiata Stories.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
I don't know it. Is it that good?
It's pretty fun. I liked it.
Have you guys played Dark Cloud?
I have not played Dark Cloud, but I know
Dark
of
Cloud
it.
was great. Dark Cloud was great.
The Radiata Stories was
Did you ever
it
play?
was an offshoot of Fantasy Star.
Okay, I do know I played Fantasy Star.
Yeah, it was like the same. It was like one of the worlds that you visit in
Okay.
Fantasy Star.
Did you ever play Star Ocean?
No, that's what I'm talking. Star Ocean.
Oh, you're thinking of Star Ocean.
Yeah, it's not Fantasy Star.
Okay,
It was,
well, that
it
was
was
like-
an offshoot of Star Ocean.
Yeah, Star Ocean. I played a few. I played Till the End of Time on PS. I've only beaten 2 of them actually. Star Ocean I beat Till the End of Time on PS2, and then I beat Last Hope on the 360 gen, and then I tried one on PS4 like Faithlessness and Integrity or something. I thought it was
Yeah,
And then I saw the newest one coming out for PC, and it was so funny because like these are both Square Enix RPGs, and that and Final Fantasy came out within like a month or 2 of each other. And if you just look at it, you clearly tell which one Square Enix cares more about because Final Fantasy 16 looks so much better.
It's sad that they don't show any love to Star Ocean, but
Yeah, because there were some like sci-fi, even some of the Final Fantasy movies, there were some like heavily sci-fi Final Fantasy games. So I was just kind of hoping that they would make like Final Fantasy the kind of the era it's in. It's either medieval fantasy or it's kind of like that grungy, like dystopian sci-fi fantasy like 7 and 15 was. And then have Star Ocean be like their straight sci-fi. But yeah, no, they just don't care about Star Ocean anymore. That was very clear when I saw the brand new Star Ocean screenshots and gameplay side by side with 16. I was like, damn, dude. I'd be so butthurt if I was on the Star Ocean team, man. I'd be like, man, you dogging me like this? You're gonna make 16.
See, another person said,
FF8 was my favorite.
yeah.
Hate you guys.
See?
Okay, Squall was cool when he was Leon in Kingdom Hearts. Well, I didn't like Squall.
Dude, Zell was badass. I love Zell.
Now I decide to
Kirby
think of my favorite
was pretty
character.
cool.
Dude, I don't know. I always say my favorite Final Fantasy is 9. 9, I really like 12. I know a lot of people had the issues with the combat on 12, but I love the story of 12.
I couldn't
And I
get past
love the
combat.
universe of 12. And then
My programmer friend in college loved 12.
sticks. So I would say 6, 9, and 12, I would normally say are my favorites. But thinking on it, I think that's nostalgia. Like a lot of that's nostalgia. If I had to go with what's the absolute my favorite story and what I think is the best story is the Zodiac, Idling and Zodiac arc of Final Fantasy 14. I think 14 has the best story characters. But at the same time, I feel like that's unfair because that's one story that took place over like 10 years of development.
Yeah.
So they had so much going into it. But if we're looking at standalone stories, I definitely think Heaven's Ward. Like Heaven's Ward and Shadowbringers are up there for top Final Fantasy games.
Kingdom Hearts made it more of a
Yeah, dude, but I played Kingdom Hearts when I was like 9, so I loved edgelord characters. Come on. We grew up watching Dragon Ball, so it's like, dude, that dude's like Vegeta and all those characters, you loved them.
fucking Cloud in Final Fantasy or in Kingdom Hearts.
I remember I picked on
Yes,
all
dude.
my friends that like Goku as a kid. They was like, you like Goku, dude? She was fucking hardcore. But I also like Gohan, but that's because Gohan would be like a crying baby, but then he'd be an edgelord.
Yep.
Like, you just made a mad edgelord. Straight edgelord.
Trunks, Future Trunks is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I was really sad when he died. But then they brought him back or something. I don't know. It was
No, he didn't die. They just blew up his universe, and he was given the
No,
choice.
he got killed by Cell.
Oh, that's right.
And
They
then
brought him.
brought him back.
I was thinking about Super, what they did to him
Yeah.
in Super. They blew up his universe, and they give him an option: go to a mirror universe where he has to live with his double, or stay with the characters he knew through the Cell games and everything. And he said, "Fuck you guys," and he dipped. He dipped out. The Goku
Where did he go?
Blackguard.
Did he?
He went to a different. The Goku
He went to the
Blackguard
mirror?
almost made me quit Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, really?
That's so bad. Yeah,
I
that's
never-
a conversation for another day.
I never watched Super.
You excited for the Sonic Generations remake with the Shadow stages?
Dark Cloud was mentioned.
Yeah, Dark Cloud was mentioned. There's one tiny game, no one's ever heard of it. I don't expect anyone to hear of it, but I love it, was Steambot Chronicles. That was like an JRPG game that was really good.
I remember seeing that at.
Oh no. You know what they need to remake? Come on, guys. We all know it. Blue Dragon. We need another Blue Dragon. You never played Blue Dragon? It was so good.
We didn't know the Legend of Dragoon.
Or another hidden gem on PS2 was Okage Shadow King. It was like this very Tim Burton JRPG. And a very Tim Burton art style, and you played as a guy who the shadow, like this, it was like Blue Dragon, like the shadow attached itself to you, and it was almost like a persona. Like he followed you around and he fought with you. Okage was such a hidden gem. So if you guys like JRPGs, if there's a PS2 emulator anywhere, look for Okage Shadow King.
There was a game I played on PlayStation that I got from my friend's birthday party. His dad got me a PlayStation game for showing up. It was really weird. But it was, I don't remember what it was called. It was some samurai game. It was super hard.
Samurai game on PlayStation 2.
No, PlayStation.
All right. So
I just remember like you were walking down the street and there were enemies and they had red eyes, but they were also samurai. I remember you killed them, and then it had a cutscene as you walk by their dead body. The guy gets up and then pukes out bloody fish and then dies.
Wait, they had a Blue Dragon show? Sorry, I was listening, but
No,
I
you're
didn't know they made a Blue Dragon show.
Huh. I'll have to check out Blue Dragon. Never heard of
Dude,
it.
do you remember when you said Samurai game on PlayStation? There's like another cool series. Remember Onimusha?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I was thinking when you said Samurai game on PlayStation. Onimusha was great.
I
Those
haven't
games
heard
were
that
great.
name in forever.
Onimusha was great. The only games I played on Xbox were Halo, Van Helsing, and Haunted Mansion. So I was a big PS2 and GameCube guy. Xbox, I think the only games I can think of that I had on my Xbox were Halo, Halo 2, KOTOR, KOTOR 2, and Black. There was just a game called Black, and it was awesome. And
There
then
was, I think it was a launch game.
I don't know what else I had on my original Xbox. Like, it was pretty barren. I was heavy. I still think the PS2 was the best generation, best system ever made.
There was
I had
so many
games on it, dude. Yeah, I had so
many games. And
yeah, Wolfie knows Black. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, dude, people know Black. Black was awesome. Black was such a good game. You would definitely know it if you saw the gameplay and stuff. Oh, Killzone was great on the original Xbox. I mean, Killzone wasn't as good as Halo, but Killzone was great. I really want them to try bringing Resistance back. Do you remember Resistance? That was like
dude,
the
I
PS3
love
shooter.
Resistance.
Resistance was awesome. I don't know why Sony killed that series.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 3 was kind of weird.
I never played 3.
Yeah.
I never even played 2. I only played the
3. You played as the guy who killed what's his face from the first
Nathan
two.
Hale.
Yeah, you played as the guy who killed Hale
Okay.
in 3, and it was kind of weird. They also need to make a new Killzone because
I feel like that game.
Shadowfall or whatever the PS4 one was, like that was not going to revive the series.
Yeah.
2 and 3 were great. I don't remember 1 too well. I just had.
I
They need to
remember
make a new Lost Planet. Like, come on.
Resistance. I remember
Resistance
the
is
augers.
great.
The auger gun where you'd shoot the wall.
Oh
And it
yeah,
would go through it. That was such a cool fucking.
Resistance.
was
I
such
still
a
wish
cool
they'd
game.
make another Prey. I was so mad when Bethesda announced they were making Prey and it wasn't Prey. I was so mad.
Upper Decks.
I played it, I was excited, I wanted Prey, and it wasn't Prey. But it said Prey on the box. But that's not what it was. And they need to bring Turok back, dude. Oh, Scalar? Yeah. See, I was a huge fan of the original Mass Effect, but Andromeda wasn't that great to me. I lost interest. Oh, dude, like, you're not alone, man. Andromeda notoriously tanked that whole series. Like, Andromeda was just meh. I even know a few people that I even know some people that dropped off on 3, and I didn't really know why, because I had fun. I mean, not besides like the ending. Like, I had friends that dropped off 3 beforehand, and I kind of get it now though, because when they made the Legendary Edition, I went back and replayed them, and I will say 3 had a good story, ending subjective, that's whatever. But 3 did actually lose a lot of the RPG aspects that made 1 and 2 good. I think 1 and 2 have the best stories for Mass Effect, but I think 1 has the best systems. For some reason, I love the Paragon, Renegade, and like choices on the first Mass Effect game. I always liked the first one, but when I went back and played like the Legendary Edition, I had a newfound love for the first one. There was like a bit of intricacy to the choices and everything that I think disappeared in the second 2. It was like the same feeling as going from like the original Dragon Age to like, we won't talk about 2, but like Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. I agree with you. 1 and 2. 1 was yeah, dude, I love Mass Effect 1. I always thought Mass Effect 1 was good. I always claimed 2 was my favorite. After Legendary Edition came out and I went back and I replayed Legendary Edition twice because I wanted to do the Paragon and Renegade playthrough, I had a newfound love for 1. I thought it was the best one. Oh, dude, Condemned would be sick. Condemned was such a spooky game.
I don't know if I played Condemned.
They were on PS3 and stuff. They were so good. It was like a crime game, but it was fucked up. Good. They need to do that. They need to make another Manhunt. I don't think Rockstar's going to do Manhunt, but I really wish they would.
I feel like they need to start pumping out some more games.
I cried after Mass Effect 3. Trying to think. 'Cause I'll cry in games. I'll admit it. I'm trying to think of Mass Effect.
Red Dead 2.
Oh yeah, Red Dead and Red Dead 2 fucked me up.
Dude,
Red Dead 1, I cried. 100%. Red Dead 2, I ugly cried. I was like, have you ever finished a show and you were kind of in denial that it was over?
Yep.
Red Dead 2 gave me that denial, like that depression denial.
Yep.
I was straight up like, if I was streaming Red Dead 2, I would have to shut my camera off and stop the stream. Like, I wouldn't have let people see how I looked after beating that game, man.
Go heck and cry after Undertale.
Maybe. But I'm trying to think. I did. No, it is embarrassing. I think I did cry on Kingdom Hearts. I think I had to, not like cry, but I definitely think I had 2 or 3 tears when Roxas finally came back in 3. Because I was just like, man, he fought so fucking hard. He deserved this. I was happy when Roxas came back. I'm trying to think of any other games with Hero. I thought
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah. Last was part 1 almost got me in the beginning. Almost got me. I never been attached to a character that attached to a character that only lasted 20 minutes. But Last of Us made it work. Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2, I did the exact opposite of crying. Just uninstalled it. I still beat it, but that game wasn't sad. It was just hate. Give me one more second. I'm trying to think of another game I cried at. Oh, I know. Gears 3. When Dom died, Dom was my boy through every Gears game. I always forced my friend to let me be player 2. When Dom died, I was really sad. Because they had to bring back his, like... The whole reason I got a 360 instead of a PS3, because I was always a PlayStation guy, was because of the original Gears of War trailer. And the original Gears of War trailer used Mad World as the theme song.
Yep.
And so I picked up my friend. He invited me, so I played as Dom. And we played that together. I probably have like 1,000 hours in Gears of War and Gears of War 2, man. Played all of them. And Gears of War 3, when Dom died, they played the piano, just the piano cover of Mad World. And I was like, so I was hit with nostalgia and sadness. And I was like, oh, fuck. This is how it ends. Huh, Maria? and then like a day or 2 later, like I was really sad about Dom dying. And I was like, fuck. And then like a day or 2 later, it's like, fuck, man, why didn't he just throw a grenade at the gas pumps? He could have just lived. I think he just wanted to die. Like, you could have shot the gas pumps. You could have done everything. Why do you have to go out of his way to drive a truck into it? Oh, yeah, the Maria part in Gears 2 was pretty fucked up. Maria got fucked up real fast when you think about it, because Maria was like healthy and alive at the hospital at the beginning of Gears 2, and then like she gets taken from the hospital after the first mission on Gears 2. Then when you find her, she is fucked up. They had to do something to her. She was like malnourished. She went like malnourished in like a week. She was so fucked up in Gears 2. Maria part. That was good. Halo Reach got me. I didn't cry on Halo Reach, but I did get emotional on Halo Reach. Halo Reach was the last Prime Halo campaign. But at the same time, we were only comparing it really with 4, 5, and Infinite, so there's really not much to compare with.
I'm trying to think of any games. Red Dead is the one that...
Oh, dude, Rockstar always hits you.
I was really sad with GTA 4.
The wedding?
Yeah.
Depending on your choices, how the wedding goes.
Yeah. But there's really only one, like, it sucks. There's only really one good ending, and it's letting Nico forgive the guy, which causes Mary, I think.
Yeah, the wife.
To get killed. Like, that's really the only good ending. Yeah. Because the other ending, where you kill him and Mary leaves, it sucks, but like she's kind of just.
All right, guys. We will have to call it here soon, guys, but I will answer a few more questions. Biohazard, know what's really funny is at the end of Assassin's Creed 3, I didn't cry. Because the end of Assassin's Creed 3, when Desmond was talking to, I can't even remember the names anymore, of like the angels, like the ancestors to enslaved humans. I forget their names. You saw his hidden blade arm get burned. So I thought she was like marking him. Because like I was watching Assassin's Creed 3 and he made that choice and you just saw that one arm igniting. So I was like, shit, dude, okay. So it's like they're burning his hidden blade arm or marking him or whatever. but you didn't see anything beyond that. And then I didn't cry because I didn't think he was dead. I thought they just marked that arm or burned that one arm. And then Assassin's Creed 4's up, and you just see a charred body in the back or get zipped in the back. And like, whoa, he fucking died? I was so surprised.
I was really pissed off when they killed his girlfriend in Revelation.
But now I will cry when I see Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, they make him stab her.
Yeah,
so
I was so fucking pissed.
But Assassin's Creed 3, I would cry going back to it now because let's be real, the world has not been the same since Desmond's died. Nothing's been the same.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed just got messy, dude, because I immediately stopped caring about the plot when Desmond died. Because Assassin's Creed 4, you were playing a video game of a guy playing a video game. And I was like, that's really fucking weird. And I think Unity was the same thing. You were like beta testing. You were playing a game of a guy beta testing a video game.
Yeah.
And Abstergo was just a game developer. And they were assholes. So I don't know if that was Ubisoft like self-placement, like they were just making an accurate portrayal of how they are. But like, there was something I didn't vibe with that. I was like, no, dude, bring Desmond back. No, Black Flag was great. Like, I think Assassin's Creed just needs to cut out all the modern day story, and they just need to do the assassins part and let us, by playing the games, fill in the blanks. I think we just need to fill in the blanks there.
Yeah.
But I cried when Blackbeard died, no cap. Oh, man. But, alright guys, I think we will have to call it. Thank you so much for coming in the stream, chatting with us. If we don't have any builds, we'll probably be doing another chat Wednesday.
Yep.
So I kind of hope for a chat, man. The chat days are fun.
Chats are fun.
Chat days are fun. I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed.
Alright guys, so if you're here for the code, for the extra 5 entries, let me make sure it's set up for 5 extra entries. Nick, what do you want the code to be today?
Code, do I have like a character line?
No character line.
Okay. I don't know.
I forgot I didn't.
Anyone have suggestions for a code?
Yeah, what do you guys want the code to be?
Can we do Futtbuck?
What? Futtbuck?
Yeah, Futtbuck.
No.
We can't do that. That's like the first thing that came to my head. That's really weird.
Pick a good game.
Ooh, pick a good game. Worms. All right, let's
Brad is Stinky X10? No, Wolfie.
All right, we're Earthworm Jim.
the-
Good code. Let's go Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim? Alright. We'll do Earthworm Jim.
Freddy Fish, Pajama Sam. I'm talking the top tier games. Spy Fox.
Alright, guys. Code is Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim. It is live right now.
I feel like
You'll have about 2 hours. All caps. Yep. I think it might accept it if it's not all caps, but it's all caps. Earthworm Jim.
need to bring him back, dude.
That would
Bring
be
back
actually
Earthworm
pretty
Jim.
sick.
If they just made a new Earthworm Jim, I'd be so happy.
That'd be actually pretty.
That'd be cool. I don't even care if the game's bad. I would probably buy it just because it's Earthworm Jim.
Dude, classic. I remember there's so many. Going to like Blockbuster in the 90s as a kid was like,
Prime.
yeah, it was the best because you had like just full walls of games you could just rent.
Yeah. That's how
And
I
you were
got.
surrounded by movies. It was like, this is what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
Yeah.
Gaming and movies.
I love being able to buy to the One by Me, man. And I love that they went out.
I know. I remember you telling me.
Buy everything. I had so many games. I had to get picked up there. I'd be like, Mom, you have to come pick me up. I can't buy that. What? I bought it.
Where do we put the code in? So if you go to
Toe Jam and Earl.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So if you go to that link, you'll see it at the very bottom.
Dude, Champions of
It'll be for
Norath.
today's
My bad.
stream.
Champions of Norath. That needs to come back too. Like, that's not even a question. Like, someone just has to do it. Like,
Yep.
it's fucking needs to be done at this point.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Good luck, guys.
Let's take a week. I know we've done this question before, but for next Wednesday, let's sit down for the next 2 days and really think about what games have to come back.
Okay.
We've had a quick discussion.
Yeah.
But we'll give us more time to think about games
Chat.
that need to come back.
Chat, you do the same. Name your top 5.
Yeah,
List your top 5,
games that need to make a return.
and we'll talk about it Wednesday.
I'll give you a spoiler. Turok's probably gonna be on my list.
Yeah.
Come on, Turok, come back. Fucking Disney owns Turok.
Do they really?
Yeah, Disney owns Turok, and they made a stupid fucking mobile game. And if you look it up right now on Google Play or iOS, they've done our boy dirty. It's dumb. It's awful.
What's the code? The code is Earthworm Jim.
All right, guys.
Earthworm Jim. Yep.
Yeah,
One word,
Earthworm
no
Jim.
space, all caps. Unless I spelled it wrong.
Shadow Man. I never got to beat Shadow Man. My
me.
game didn't work. To be honest. But guys, Brad's gonna do this code. I'm out. I will see you guys later. Oh,
Earthworm
Red
Jim.
Bull and water.
That's what I have written down, guys. Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, I should
And
think of codes in advance. I'm not good at thinking of stuff on the spot.
yeah, it's okay. Neither am I.
Like, I don't even remember what my last week code was.
It was like kiwi banana or something.
That seems about right. That seems about how my brain works.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you Wednesday, guys. Later.